Hello, Ringette fans. Welcome to the semi-final matchup here at the Canadian Ringette Championships 2025 in Ottawa, Ontario. Tonight's matchup, we have the Calgary RATH versus Edmonton WAM. Bringing it to you today is myself, Emily Renneberg. And this feels kind of like a homecoming for me in a sense, because I imagine a lot of the people who are watching this do actually know me. I do have connections on both sides of these teams. I've played with players on both sides, grew up with players on both sides, have very fond memories with players on both sides, and feel like maybe that's why I've been asked to do this. I'm unbiased today, we'll call it. Very excited for this matchup. This feels like already the energy in this space is huge. We just finished off the other semifinal between Riverside Revolution and Montreal Mission, and what a hectic game that was. The crowd was fanatic. I could barely hear myself think. Now, what happened there? Well, your Montreal Mission will be going to the gold finals tomorrow afternoon. Calgary RATH, Edmonton WAM, they're also looking to do the same thing today. They've met each other already in this matchup, but this is not the first time they've met each other in the CRCs. No, last year they met each other in the gold final where WAM took the win 10-3. WAM looking for the three-peat this year. Again, have to take this game to see who gets to the final. But like I said, these two teams have seen each other before. A bit of a close game. WAM coming into this undefeated, having quite a successful CRCs to date. Taking the last game 6-4. Well, these two teams have a very colorful history. Obviously, both being from Alberta, they get to see each other a lot during the West Hubs over the season. WAM has won 3 of the 4 times they saw each other. They've seen each other mostly in February, so as the teams start progressing throughout the season, they start getting a little bit more into their groove. When you hear athletes talking about peaking at the right time towards the end of that regular season here, you're looking to go into top form for nationals, and that's what both teams are looking for today. RATH having a bit of a mixed bag so far to get to this game. Coming in with a decent season, gets them into Pool A. Starting off with a loss against Attack, but taking things back with a win against Riverside. Last game they played, they beat the Attack to get here. Both teams have a lot of fans. I just want to shout out Alberta because apparently y'all have shown up to this game. We've got Calgarians, Edmontonians, Red Deerians, Lacomans, Airdrians probably, and and all of you tuning in at home. Thank you very much for joining us. Excited to bring you the action here today. Normally we start with a national anthem during regular season play, but now they just get to it here. As we set things up at center with RATH with the ring. Rachel passing off from center. Moving things down to Exner. Exner battling along the boards, finding some trouble with space. RATH now with it. Drops it back. Picked up by Wilden. Wilden's turning around, crashing that triangle, coming on the inside, tries to pull something across. RATH maintaining possession. Exner trying to get a ring off. Gets to the goaltenders. Coming in at center and passing it up, trying to get it to Bell, but it's picked off by Ung. Moving things in the defensive zone, looking for an outlet into center. Loose ring. Passed off back over to Ung, and it's picked off by WAM. Long pass. Taking it now into center. Trying to get it into an open area. Finds its way through traffic. RATH will start moving in their own zone. Moving that outlet. And Masuka will step on the ring, so that'll get play called down. Already some really great action. You can feel the energy again off these teams. A lot of fans here. The whole rink is packed. I don't know if you guys can hear me even. On the account that all the fans are here with noisemakers, drums, vuvuzelas. You love to see the support. RATH now. Trying to move it down. WAM will pick it up. Masuka with the support pass. Henderson tries to bank it off the board. He'll get picked up. Moving it into center for Dreger. Dreger. Down. Henderson. Henderson fires it from outside. Nice save there. Moving things out to the center, and a spinning shot goes wide. No reset on that. 16 seconds on the shot clock as Dreger tries to make it back. Pushes through the triangle, gets to the center, and she's picked off by the D. Triangle coming in for full support there. Shannon tries to get that ring. Moves it back. Now with Shannon. Bounces off her foot. She'll keep that over to her teammate. Baji tries to get something off there. Goes wide. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Out to Henderson. Henderson fires it. Nice from. No problem with that early first shot. Takes that into her chest and passes things off as the ring will get moved out of the defensive zone. Armstrong spinning. She's looking for some space. Moves the ring across the zone. 2 on from WAM. Putting on pressure on Wheeler. And the ring will get picked off by Henderson. Henderson down to Shannon. Shannon looking. She's getting a bit of a shift change here, so she'll start this cycle. Coming across the top to Ferry. Ferry now continuing that cycle as the rest of the shift changes. Up top, now dropping it. Moving across the top with some speed here is Bell. She gets picked off by Exner and calls for a sub with Yulden. Yulden slotting herself in and shot on Nystrom. Easy one, just outside of that main area. And that'll get blown down before the zone. Again, thank you for tuning in. It's some exciting action here, semifinals. Tomorrow will determine the ultimate fate, but today you have to win to get there. WAM coming in undefeated. Taking on RATH already. Close game though. So expect some action here again. Bell staying to the outside, keeping things moving. Cuts in, fires it. Saw that shot, that far post. Rink continues with WAM. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Bell, she's got pressure. Yulden pushing her out up top and cuts across. Finds a little bit of a gap there on the low triangle, but shot doesn't make it fully to the net. Bell tries to get that reset, but probably about half a second too late there as Nystrom will pick things up. And there will be a delayed call there. WAM tripping as Murray tried to get the ring out of the zone. So that'll be our first penalty of the game. Again, still 0-0. These teams very familiar with each other. Again, last year they faced off in the final to take home gold. WAM winning their second in a row. RATH now looking to bump them out of their spot as they look to the power play here. First power play of the game, Sauvé starts the wide cycle. Inside the zone, gets picked off by Dreger. RATH has to try and capitalize. That loose ring finds its way to the center with Sauvé. Sauvé into the zone. Meyer now drops it back. WAM settling into a triangle, moves it across the triangle, saw Sauvé. Sauvé gets a shot off, gets taken down. She had a really great spot on that low triangle. Just a little bit of a defensive stick, put that off its course. 6 seconds on the shot clock. RATH looking for something here with Exner. Exner tries to shoot, it's blocked. And that'll go to goalie. There's enough of a reset there. That'll go back to goalie. 1 minute and 12 seconds remaining on the penalty. Easy toss to Dreger. Dreger tries to make a move, but it's picked up by Brewster. Brewster was hard on that line. WAM still trying to move things out. Now Exner takes it, fires it while she falls. Doesn't find its way through. But a great turnover opportunity there from RATH. Brewster again just on that line, staying where she needs to be. RATH is using a bit of a wall technique here. Instead of playing the player, they're standing free on the line, trying to take away that space, and it looks like it's working. Not something I've seen very often, but again, crowding that neutral zone and making it harder for them to break in. Black moving it around, a little bit of space here over top the Rink line as Henderson back pass over the Bell, now down. A really good tight look there from Dibaji. Now to Bell, she's looking for something that makes sense. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Looks like they might have something like a set play here that they're waiting to execute on. Is 10 seconds now on the shot clock. Gets the reset, but the ring will sit with Nystrom. Nystrom makes an easy toss over to Yulden. Yulden faces pressure but spins away. She'll get it to Armstrong. Armstrong to Yulden. She had some pressure but skated away. Coming out wide now. Gillespie, she tries to get one past Shannon. RATH still with possession here. Back pass to Yulden. Yulden being pushed to the outside as the triangle doesn't let them through. Gillespie fires it. Ring did a bit of a bounce there. Rio had no problem with tracking it. Easy toss out as well, as it's a bit of chaos inside that neutral zone, looking for somebody to pass to, finding Henderson. Henderson getting held up there. Strong on that possession though, as the shot clock starts winding down. A last-ditch attempt there from Lee to try and get the reset. Finds its way into legs instead. Hazel cutting, using the support. Murray now back to Hazel. 14 seconds on the shot clock as Hazel drops it back to Meyer. Meyer going for a bit of a faster skate here as time winds down on that shot clock, passing it back. Walking inside the triangle. And they'll get a fresh shot clock there as Anderson gets taken down at center. That'll be a slashing call on WAM, second of the game. And it looks like that's being called on Bell. So 2-minute call for slashing against WAM here. Dalen Bell will go to the box. RATH now with their opportunity for the second power play of today's game. Chauve seeing if there's an opening. Decides to pass it. Strong defense there to move things right back up. And as WAM gets it out of neutral, over to Ferry. Starting the skate with half the shot clock remaining. Fakes the drop back. Firing shot up top from Bell. She had a look. There's a bit of a corner there on Nystrom. She wanted to capitalize, got the reset. But the ring stayed with Nystrom, so she'll pass it out. On now, trying to find some space. Does with Exner. Exner gets the ring moving quickly down the ice. Over to Sauve, who takes it into the corner. She's followed by the center. Bit of a battle there in the corner. Looks like Hemstreet comes out with it. She's looking up top, facing lots of pressure there from Bell. She swaps out for Drager. Drager now using her stick to bat the ring away. Brewster now with it. 40 seconds remain on the penalty. To Dalen Bell. As RATH continues the cycle here. Exner taking it in, trying to cut between the center and the D. Doesn't quite make it. The ring will find its way into Rio's crease. WAM tried to touch it. Possession will go back right over to RATH. Some good energy so far from both the sides. Not a lot of action in terms of shots. We're seeing a lot of cycling. But we've yet to see some of that tic-tac-toe that especially WAM has been trying to use across this tournament. Ring is over with On gets taken down. But Gillespie will get things back over to Goulden. Goulden tries to find Gillespie. Picking it up. So power play expires here with Hung across the top, looking for an outlet, goes to the side, shoots! And just goes wide. Found the space between the center and the D. Cut through quickly. Just a little bit too far past the post. WAM now with it. Lead to Bevan. Drager shoots. An easy pad save for Nystrom. Hard enough shot to get that reset as well, maintaining possession. Chen now on the outside. Fires it. Saw something from a sharp angle. Didn't quite make its way to the net. Hetzel on the outside. She fakes it, tries to go past the D. Strong effort there from Armstrong. He's taking that away on the short side. Pressure here, 3-on-1 at one point. RATH still maintaining possession as they move it around the defensive zone. Armstrong now gets it to center. 14 seconds on the shot clock, trying to find an outlet down low. Murray signaling. Get down to the corner. Moves it over there. And WAM trying to fight for the ring behind their nets. Just under 2 minutes remaining in this initial quarter. Still scoreless. As Anderson now by herself, 3-on-1 in the zone. She's looking to look for some backup as everyone else seems to be changing. Exner now taking it over the line. Some good pressure there from Bell, who's waiting there just as Exner enters the zone. Trying to feed it through Exner. Sharp angle there, got the reset. Rio go was there. Exner, again, trying to move that. The defensive sticks, active, pushing that ring away. Hemstreet finding the long pass over to Brewster. Brewster, she hits traffic. 10 seconds on that shot clock. And another hard shot there from Hemstreet. She was out wide. Just under a minute here with Ryan York, passing it over the blue line. Now Exner here has Brewster with some speed. Brewster decides to go for the cycle. She's going to get a change as she drops things to Gulden. Gulden now back to Ung. Pick at center, over to Yulden. Yulden crosses in, fires. Flipping ring. Right past Rio. She's got a piece of it with her pad. Gillespie had the pick on the center there. Now she comes into the triangle, pushing between the D and the center. Enough support there to keep her away as a last attempt here from Henderson. Lauren Henderson now takes a shot, goes wide. Counting down just seconds on this first quarter. And that'll end things here with a final shot from Barge. She had a look. Wow, lots of fun here already, folks. Thank you for joining us. Like I said, this is an important game, as I'm sure all of you at home are very, 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 very aware of. Lots of really great, exciting action between these two teams. The last time they played each other, one of the interesting things that I noted is that Draeger managed to get a point on every single of the 6 WAM goals. And I'm sure part of the game plan for the RATH side was to try and figure out how they not let that happen. But unfortunately, it also means trying to stop Ketsa and Fevin, who also were able to contribute significantly to the last game. Ketsa scoring 3, assisting on another, and Fevin assisting on 2. So a lot of offensive firepower we've seen so far in this Nationals from WAM. Now the Rink cell service is terrible. You know it's a good old rink when the cell service doesn't exist, but I've just been told that I need to be a little bit louder due to the fact that the fans are so loud. So that'll give you an idea of the atmosphere here as we get into the second quarter. Again, alt side at 0, waiting for the first efforts here with Draeger passing things off up top. Now down low, spinning, cuts across the crease. Had a look. WAM maintaining possession here. Ketsa over to Draeger. Draeger gets taken down. And that'll be RATH's first penalty of the game. 2 minutes for cross-checking. Now, normally it's Draeger taking the calls on things like that. It's hard to take her down. I can say that from many years of experience playing against her and then also playing with her. You always want her on your side because, yeah, I think she's like 6'3". Hard to get past her, but she'll draw the call on that one for the first power play opportunity for WAM in this game. We get a 2-minute body contact call for Jennifer Miller. As WAM now looking, trying to make a move up top, moving it down to the bottom instead. Henderson fakes it, moves it across the top, met up with some pressure there from Ung. Shot clock expiring before they could get anything on net. RATH really securing that triangle, trying to make sure nothing goes in. As the offensive firepower of WAM tries to take them up by 1. So far, again, 0-0. Lots of time remaining in this semifinal, with WAM sending 2 on the attack here. Henderson just taking a bit of a, I'll call it drive-by trip. To me, you know, it looked innocent. Obviously, it was a call very clearly, but she was definitely coming in with some speed and just clipped. And so that'll put her in the box for 2 minutes and give the ring back to RATH. So a minute and 8 seconds remain on the penalty to Murray. 2 minutes on the clock there for Lauren Henderson, one of the two Hendersons. As RATH now getting possession because of that penalty as Cycle continues a firing shot from out wide. Saw an opportunity to go low. Rio, no problem watching it. RATH maintaining that possession, coming up top now with Yolden. Yolden faking it, moving to the side. And a fake there, just taken down with the defense. M Street tried to make a move, but got clipped. WAM now trying to make use of the neutral zone. Great stab there in the corner. Bajbarsh. Over to Bell. Bell outside. With a softer shot. Gets its way to the net though. Get them the reset. But RATH will give them a gift. Possession now back with WAM as the penalty to Murray expires. WAM now technically on the penalty kill as they work through this with 42 seconds remaining on their own penalty. Cycling around, a bit of a shift change here, keeping things to the outside, dropping it back for Bell. Bell fakes, she goes right past Armstrong, had the full opening. Goes a little bit too high on Nystrom, but what a beautiful look. Probably one of the closest we've had this game so far. Beautiful opportunity to just fake it and walk right into that triangle, creating space for herself. Ong has two on her, gets picked off, battling along the boards. Finds a way to get the ring to a teammate, so now got Meyer. 10 seconds on that shot clock as she comes up top. Tries to make the back pass over to Goleski, but didn't have the right tracking. WAM moving it up to Bell. Bell way to cross. And big shot there. Henderson coming flying out of the penalty box, deciding to take matters into her own hands. There's a lot of strategy when it comes to deciding whether or not the person in the box should just go straight out onto the ice. There's a lot of communication with your coaching team to figure out if you should be going on or not, especially if you're a forward and your shift's out there. Looks like Henderson just flew out there, took the shot, and then went to the bench. As Dreger now on the outside. Way around, tries to wrap things. Battling now at center. A little bit of chaos as the ring finds its way onto RATH possession, but it'll get picked off. Handled by Rock. Rock now trying to move things out of the zone, facing more pressure from WAM. We're back to even strength. So 5-on-5 ensues. Ryan York now passing it up center. Ketsa takes a spin, shoots, goes wide. Again, Ketsa contributing to 3 goals in the last matchup between these two. Dreger now tries a backhand, goes high. Hung, skating to center. Getting it to Wheeler. Wheeler using her wheels. I'm sure she's heard that one before. Back pass in the neutral zone. Still lots of pressure from WAM, eating up this shot clock as Armstrong tries to get it through at 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Still trying to spin back to use support with Wheeler. Wheeler decides to send it in far. M Street facing 3 seconds left, gets it onto Rio. Reset is successful. Yolden behind the net. Starting the wide cycle. Trying to break through the center and the D, passing things off to Brewster. She'll draw a penalty there, as she does. Didn't get a look at the net, but now Nystrom goes to the
bench will have 4 in the zone. Add this delay called comms and a shot up top just goes a little bit wide. Yulden pretty much at the ringette line, deciding to fire it. 10 seconds on the shot clock. And a low post attempt there. And another shot from out wide from Yulden. Couldn't find the net. RATH trying to use the opportunity on the delayed call to have 4 in the zone. Sometimes 4 in the zone makes it a little bit clogged. It depends on the style of the triangle that's being played, but it can be quite congested in the zone if there's 4 in. Harder to maneuver. You definitely have the player advantage, and oftentimes if you have some strategies on a 4-on-3, it can be a little bit easier to move the ring around. Sometimes teams will use the box, and as you'll have just seen with RATH, they kind of use the box hybrid where they moved a player inside and out. Ooh, that gate was open. And now RATH here, taking it inside. Thought she had something, but decides to keep the skate going. Back to Exner. Exner tries to feed it through, picks up her own rebound. Shot on Ryu. And WAM will draw another penalty here. 1 minute and 26 remaining to that initial penalty to Tori Shannon. We'll get another Henderson in the box. This time it'll be Kate. And this, my friends, is my favorite thing in all of ringettes. I'm sorry to all the defense who are listening and watching, but as a forward, this is my favorite thing of all time. 3-on-2. RATH now, moving things around in that triangle, facing a lot of pressure there from Devanji. She's really looking for that ring around the boards. She's supported by Asuka. Devanji fighting for it on her own, 2 against 1. RATH coming out on top with it. Wilden now down low to Anderson. She gets a shot off. I don't think Rio knew it was there necessarily. I think she knew she got a piece of it. And now 50 seconds remain on the first penalty to WAM. It will be a while till they get their 3rd person in the zone. That's why they want to waste time here, but it's quite the trick when there's only 3 of you. Ketsa making it look a little bit easy. She gets a shot on the net from the blue line. As the defensive, just one of them switch. Masuka stays, ferries in. RATH now. Street trying to set up the triangle with Exner. Exner thought she was walking in, just got a little bit checked off at the top there. Pressure here from WAM's defensive pair. Exner now tries to fake it, goes to the side. Just whiffs on it. Street had a piece. The penalty will expire. There's still 30 seconds on the second one, but WAM will have their 3rd player in the zone. And Missy will get to switch. When I played with her, we always put her out for 3-on-2s because she's as solid as a rock. So they've managed to kill off that one here as Sove walks in, tries to get the long pass over to Yulden, who just misses the stab. 5 seconds on the shot clock, looking for some sort of reset here. Can't quite connect, but Yulden tries the wraparound. The wraparound is very difficult to bring out because the crease technically sticks out of the side of the net. And by the time you get around it, you can't get your stick into it. There's not a great angle for you to do it. It's very tricky. And if you do get it, the goalie's usually there. But you try a lot of different creative things to try and get the reset when you need to. 4 minutes and 23 seconds remain in this second quarter of this semifinal. Still scoreless, which, to be fair, I am shocked by. And a lot of cycling so far. We've seen a few quality opportunities. Goaltenders have been quite strong. And nothing from that 3-on-2. WAM was able to kill it as they go back to full strength here. 5-on-5. Great work from the defensive core to keep that out of the net. 8 seconds on the shot clock here. Over to Exner. Exner sees a piece. Doesn't get enough strength on that. She was slightly, I think she was using her speed to try and get into the zone there. It wasn't quite set up. Still managed to get a great shot off, but not enough speed there to beat Friel. Oh, and we'll get 2 penalties on that one. Well, what's not necessarily surprising to me is that we've had quite a few penalties early in this first half of the game. The last time these two teams met each other, that was quite the story as well. We'll get a hooking call against Murray. 2 minutes in the box. That's her second of the game. Well, maybe they're not calling the second one. They did signal for 2. Nope. I think WAM also thought that they were getting one because they only had 4 on the ice. Yeah. So only 1 penalty. Murray will go to the box for hooking. And WAM will get the power play here. Some pressure along the boards. As Meyer tries to skate it out, she gets it to Ung. Ung faces 3 WAM players of traffic. Shannon now across the top tries to get that low on the ice. Hard shot, goes wide. But it was the right idea. There was a lot of space down there. Brock now. Trying to use the support with Meyer. Meyer. Over to Ung. That'll be Rachel. And 2-on-1. Triggers the move it or lose it. So WAM will gain it at center. 1 minute and 17 seconds remain to the penalty to Murray. 3 minutes on the dot for this second period. We've still got 29 minutes of ringette to look forward to. And I'm excited to see who's going to strike first. As again, WAM, about 1 minute remaining on their power play here. Bell, up top, tries to feed it all the way across. Too much of a pass there for Krochak. Now back inside the zone. Asbarsh gets a little bit of a shot there, tries to turn backwards. Nystrom gets a piece of it. But great coverage there from WAM to take away that goaltender ring. Those 5 seconds can move quite quickly. Great coverage there, didn't let Nystrom see anything to pass to. 49 seconds remain on the penalty to RATH. WAM sussing things out. I think that Krochak touched the ring while it was still technically touching the circle. Now things will settle back with Nystrom. Nystrom with the toss. Yolden trying to get that ring. Faces some body contact or boarding, I think the penalty will be called. Holding. We'll get a holding call here on WAM. Asbarsh. So 28 seconds still. I feel like I keep updating you folks on this penalty. Feels like time has really passed, but it hasn't. So 28 seconds remain on the penalty to Murray. 2 fresh new minutes on the board for Nina Asbarsh. RATH taking things out wide for the cycle. Trying to see where there's a pass. Dropping it now to Exner. Exner on the outside gets pushed. Continues the skate. Tries to feed it through the center. Gets it over to Brewster, but a little bit too much on that pass as there's going to be another penalty here against WAM. They're going to want to pass it. Oh, actually, the penalty to Murray's now expired. Dreger now going for a skate, wanting to set things up as Rio is in the bench now. 4 in the zone. Dreger moving it to Shannon. Shannon back over to Dreger. Just a bit too much. Couldn't stab that. Still the delayed call with the 4 in the zone. Drager fires. 2 seconds on the shot clock as Shannon didn't get enough time there to turn backwards. There'll be a boarding call against RATH. Just a bit too much, what I'll call tenacity on that from Exner. She'll get the call on that just behind the net. Kind of leaned into the check instead of keeping a little bit more focused on the stick. Sauve now flipping it over to Meyer. She's got space. She's going to go for a skate. 18 seconds on the shot clock. Circling. Staying to the outside. Shoots. Finds that opening. Rio had the pads down low. Moving things up to Drager. Drager's got some space, but she's pushed out. Great defensive play there. Now Drager back with it. Gets forced out to the side by Wheeler. She's got no space on that side. A minute and 20 seconds remain to the penalty for Exner. 24 seconds remain to Barsh. And Murray will do a friendly goalie toss. Hits Nystrom sticks, bounces back out to herself. Very clever as Murray tries streaking in, calling for it from Yulden. Yulden had enough space to get the ring off of her stick, but it finds its way into the crease instead. Murray doing her classic end-to-end. And now she's here with it. Not typically in this zone, but here she is as time winds down on this period. Back over to Murray. Murray fires. Gets a good look on the sharp angle. The pass back and forth from Yulden. But again, we leave this period tied at 0. The crowd is excited. I'm excited. We're going to have to wait to see who scores first as we go into the half. As I'm sure most of you know at this point, there is a flood between the first 2 periods and the second 2 periods. Really, the action is quite even between these 2 teams. I wish I could give you a little bit more of an insight and analysis, but I think it's really just been solid play on both ends. Both teams need to be a little bit more disciplined with those penalties. As much as they seem to be drawing them at similar times and playing 4-on-4, there is the advantage to having the full 5. Again, WAM coming up with the win on the last time these 2 teams faced each other. WAM looking to bring home a shiny gold medal for the 3rd time in a row. But again, this is the semi-final, so this kind of makes or breaks it for that opportunity. Did you cut it? So just chatting with the wonderful camera operator, David. I'd like to thank some sponsors of our wonderful Canadian Ringette Championships. Government of Canada, Gatorade, Athena Ringette, Ringjet, TELUS, Event Connect. We could not have put on this wonderful, exciting event without our sponsors. I was saying to a few folks earlier that this is like my personal Super Bowl. But what's better than the Super Bowl is that this lasts for literally the whole week. So thank you to all those sponsors that have contributed to putting on this fantastic ringette in our nation's capital. We will have medal games tomorrow in Gatineau at the Slush Puppy Center. For those of you that would like to join us, I do believe there are still tickets to buy. Definitely something that you'll want to look into for tomorrow. But that'll be it for the call for now. We'll be back with you in about 12 minutes, bringing you the second half of the action between Calgary RATH and Edmonton WAM. best friend. So you're all my friends now. Welcome back, Ringette friends. Bringing you the second half of the semifinal between Edmonton WAM, Calgary RATH. And my name is Emily Renneberg, except I think a lot of you already know that. Very happy to be here. Very happy to bring these two teams to you. And again, I feel like this is, when I first saw the schedule, that this is how it's going to turn out. I was personally very excited. Now, I don't know about the two teams and how excited they were to play each other in the semis, because it was going to be tough for both of them. And the first half has proven that, coming out scoreless. We're going to start this third quarter here with 46 seconds remaining on the penalty to Exner. RATH will get things at center, trying to move it inside the zone, using the back pass to Ung, who skates for it. Down to Gillespie. Again, on the power play for WAM here, so penalty kill as Gillespie comes up top, tries to get one on net, goes wide. Golden now, turning, Ring gets through. It will make it to the net before the shot clock expires, so RATH will get possession back here at the circle. 14 seconds remaining on the penalty to Exner. Still on penalty kill technically, like I mentioned before. They had that first pass from the circle and have maintained possession since, hoping for the first opportunity here to score something. Meyer passing it off. Anderson now tries to move things, gets it back across the top, passing it. Anderson now tries to cut through, gets the ring on the net, maintains possession here. Meyer gets it over to Ung. Ung on that really sharp shot there. She was basically on the goal line. WAM picks up the loose ring. Tetsa down over to Lee. Lee gonna take the cycle as WAM gets a bit of a shift change here. Bell now. Down to Shannon. Shannon couldn't get a stick on it. RATH moving it out of the zone. Sauve spinning, finding two players on her as she moves it into open ice for Wheeler. Wheeler now down in the corner. Penalty expires, back to 5-on-5. There's RATH trying to get some offensive action running here. And Sauve will take down Kochak right at the line. Just a bit too aggressive on that stick. Getting it tangled up. Trying to push her way through. Gets 2 minutes for body contact. WAM will get their first power play of this third quarter. Will they get a goal from this? We will find out. Shannon now. Over to Kochak. Kochak fakes the back pass, continues the cycle. 20 seconds on the shot clock here as a pick from Shannon up top. Doesn't matter though, but Ryan York will pick it up over the line. Moves it down into the zone. 12 seconds on the shot clock is down for Shannon. Shannon coming across the top. Back pass over to Bell. Bell cutting, shoots, and a piece of it hits Nystrom's blocker as that ring continues outside the crease. WAM maintaining possession. 1 minute and 22 seconds on this power play as Dreger now with the ring over across the top. Tries to find Henderson, but sticks get in the way in the triangle. Ferry now. Moving things over to Ketsa. Ketsa to Dreger. Dreger shoots. A hard shot there, wide. Met with some defensive power there as Henderson tries to pick that ring up before it hits the crease. Nystrom with the toss to the corner. Hemstree got two on her, but spinning out of those checks, she takes the ring out. Gets it to the middle, but no one knows where it is. Hazel had her back to it now, over to Henderson. Henderson, she's looking for an outlet with Dreger. Back to Dreger. Dreger cuts, shoots, tries to find that back post. Close side, turning on her skate right in front of that crease. She got 6 points in the last game. I'm sure she's looking for something here. Murray now trying to move things out safely, fakes it and blows past. Isn't finding somewhere safe to pass it to. Will restart the cycle as pressure from Bell and Tajbarsh try to push her out. She'll finally move it. She skates into it as the pass finds its way back to Murray. 8 seconds on the shot clock. 8 seconds remaining in the penalty to RATH. Murray does the backdrop over to Yolden. Yolden, short shot. Gets the reset though. RATH showing some energy here. Yolden trying to settle it. Cycle back outside to Exner. Exner tries to move it across the center. It's picked off by a stick, floats its way into the triangle, and WAM will get it. But now back to Gillespie. Gillespie, she's one of the top goal scorers for RATH this week. You know, she's looking for something here as well. Coming in with speed up top, looking to cut through. Pushed aside by a strong triangle, but Ung now cuts across the crease. Gets the shot off, not quite on target. And a block there at center allows WAM to take things up ice. Drager now to Dibaji. Dibaji back to Drager. Drager back over to Krocek. Krocek gets a piece, fires it on net, but Nystrom got that rebound off, and now Exner pulling it out of her zone. And it's picked up by Drager. She's got that extremely long stick. And a long pass across the crease. This fresh ice giving it some good, smooth moving speed. Didn't find the right stick. And fight for it here at center. Now over to Drager. Drager's basically by herself. She takes some time. Fakes it one way, pulls it back. Tight against the post is Nystrom. She had some space there, decides to take her time with it. Had a little bit of an opening there, but to be fair, didn't have a lot of time and space to get moving before she hit the crease. Did what she could, but she'll take the time to switch now as Bell has it at the free circle here. Wish. Getting across the top, over to Shannon. Shannon fakes it, goes for the 5-hole. Nystrom closes that opportunity with the rebound now going out to RATH. 2 lines. Ferry picks it up. Bell now to Shannon. Shannon spins off that check. Back over. An attempt there from a really great opportunity there is Tajbarsh was like basically waiting inside that triangle for that tight opportunity. I think WAM will go to the box for that one. Body contact. So some action there already in the zone. WAM, a couple opportunities there. RATH remaining strong with the triangle, not letting them have things too easily. Still tied at 0. I keep saying that, but it's bizarre. We love this game. This game is typically quite high scoring, but when these two teams have faced each other, there haven't been more than 7 goals. I should say 7 goals aside. I'm just getting some people waving at me here. I'm getting distracted, everyone. Don't mind me. 2 penalties now up on the board. Excellent. Over to Hemstreet. Hemstreet finding it across the top to Brewster. Brewster going for a skate. 10 seconds on the shot clock as she comes back around the net. Continues to look for the opportunity out wide. Finds it low with Hemstreet. She takes a shot, but it goes wide. Doesn't hit Ryu. So Ryu now gets the 5 seconds for the toss. No problem, as again, RATH is doing this interesting coverage on the line where they're trying to put pressure to not be able to move things into the neutral zone, but WAM found a way quite easily there as Ketsa now on the side. Waits for a bit of a change here, trying to get some momentum as shot clock hits 10 seconds. Ring finds his way to Nystrom's crease. She'll try and take it here as Ketsa standing in front of her, trying to take away that opportunity. Strong on Exner. Not letting her have the time and space. And it was 4-on-4, but we'll soon be going to 4-on-3 here as a delayed call forces Nystrom to do the long skate over to the bench. And RATH wants to put it into the crease because it's Emily's favorite time of the game. It's a 3-on-2. Again, apologies to the defense who are listening to this, and probably also the goaltenders. Maybe even the centers. I honestly feel like this is only a forward thing, but it gives it a little bit of excitement here, as RATH is definitely looking to capitalize on this 3-on-2 here. Second opportunity of this game. Didn't manage to convert on the first one here as the triangle continues the quick passing. Sticks in the way there. Ring gets its way over to Ryu. A nice shot up top from Meyer, but she'll switch. We'll get a fresh 3 squad here as Hemstreet takes the ring. Gillespie's on the boards. 28 seconds remain on that initial penalty that caused this 3-on-2. I believe that's Anderson coming across the top. Firing it down low. Gillespie gets a look. Pad, save, swinging into that post. Moving things around still. But smooth ice still from the flood as Hemstreet comes in between the D. Gets her own rebound. Penalty will expire now. We've got 3 in the zone, 1 minute and 12 remaining on that second call. Hemstreet trying to crash her way through the defensive core. And now with possession with Henderson. Henderson looking for an outlet, finding the easy pass along the boards. It's not called. Play will continue. 10 seconds on the shot clock here as they're looking for something. Ferry calling for it up top. But Bell will get it. She shoots and scores on the reset shot. Nystrom not completely tight to her post. WAM will take the first goal of this game. Almost over 30 minutes in, we get our first goal. And it was a bit of a shock to Bell as well, I think, because she definitely didn't expect to get that past the post, but wanted at least the reset. I think there was 4 seconds on that shot clock, but Nystrom just not as tight as she needed to be. She'll not love that one, but a goal is a goal. WAM is up 1-0. And that was a shorthanded opportunity as well. So 28 seconds remain in the penalty. Now here as WAM starts trying to use the momentum gained. And some strong defense in the center. Hazel really fighting for that. Gaining possession for RATH now as they continue the cycle. Coming up top now, Sauve finds the space. It's quickly closed. Ferry stepped right into that open space and took that away. Great defensive play. Ryan York now moving it up. And is picked off by Exner. Nobody is back. Bit of a foot race here as Sauve pulls it back. WAM able to put 3 in the zone. RATH now doing a bit of a swap. Looks like the whole line's going. Bit of an excitement there for Sauve, but I think she made the right call pulling things back when she did. She's looking for that support. Caught WAM, not goal side. And that was a great play there, actually, from Meyer, who just picked that ring off right by the crease. It looked like it was in the crease, but she took the risk, and it paid off. And as it comes out to the side now, defense flailing around, trying to find traction here as the ring just moves side to side and no one quite knows where it was. Now it's settled with 4 seconds on the shot clock, and is Yulden tries to get that reset and does. Ring will bounce its way into the corner, picked up by RATH. They'll maintain possession. They've got some energy here as Gillespie now behind the net, 20 seconds on the shot clock. They want an answer. Coming into the zone, using the space, moving back, passing it. And that loose ring from Ung's pass shot. I think it was a pass. Tries to make its way through the triangle, but WAM will capitalize. And another penalty here. We'll go to WAM. Oh no, it'll go to RATH. Sydney Rock will get 2 minutes for boarding. Looked like she just had a little bit too much body along the boards up against, I think it was Dreger. Dreger calling, getting another call against her, putting her team up on the power play with 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining in this quarter. Still lots of ringette to go, very low scoring. Both these teams looking for some action here. Dreger up top. Shoots. The rebound heard throughout the rink, but Nystrom keeps it to herself and tosses it off. As Armstrong tries to kick it to her own self. Bouncing ring finds its way to Dreger. Dreger taking things a little bit slow as the rest of her line changes. Back pass to Ketsa. Ketsa over to Dreger. Dreger fakes it, shoots. Nystrom was down, but that ring goes wide. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Ketsa now. Moving it to Bell. Bell had a sharp angle, wanted the reset. Bit too close to the goal line there, and a block from Wheeler. Had her hands down on the ice, right in the path of the ring. Gets things back, but unable to move it over the second blue line. 30 seconds left in this period as Lee comes in, fires. She had some space. Nystrom closing the pads. And as RATH moves things back up, tries to get it into the zone. Moving back and forth here. And Meyer will poke it into the crease for Nystrom. 7 seconds remain in this quarter as Armstrong tries to push her way through traffic. And that'll end the third quarter. 15 seconds remain on the penalty to RATH. Lots of fun here, folks. Again, thank you for joining us. This has been a really, really fun week. I drove up from Toronto last night, but have been watching on my work screen, my second screen at work all week. Don't tell my boss. Actually, my boss does know because I keep telling everybody at work that they need to tune into Ringette. I will convert them all eventually. That's my personal guarantee. So we'll have some more Ringette fans with us, hopefully this weekend as well. Tell all your friends, family, enemies that the action continues tomorrow. This game decides who goes to gold. We already know Montreal Mission will be the opponent as they took down Riverswood Revolution, who will go for the bronze tomorrow. Should be a great matchup. Now, I'm not trying to jinx things here, but the last time Mission was in the final, the gold final, they went up against WAM in 2023. Now, WAM took that. That was the start of their little gold streak here. But last year, it was WAM versus RATH in the gold final. RATH looking to find themselves in that same position and face Mission instead. They need a goal to tie things up here, but again, it's been very low scoring. I was hoping for some crazy offensive action, and maybe that's yet to come as we still have 13 minutes left. So far, things have been calm, cool, and collected with a lot of penalties, so maybe not so calm and cool, but Dreger now over to Ketsa. Ketsa gets a shot right into Nystrom's pads. Not a lot of offensive opportunities in moving these goaltenders. We're seeing a lot of outside shots here. As Henderson tries to push her away, Murray meeting her right at that corner, taking herself from her own side over to help her defensive partner. Great move there, gets her possession. Yolden now to Gillespie. Gillespie facing pressure, but she'll skate it off. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Moving it to center now, back to Gillespie. She shoots! It goes wide! An amazing back pass from Erin Ung. Two of them now talking about, oh, wouldn't that have been nice? You can tell they've done that once or twice before. They'll have to try it again. Still 1-0. That's their best look so far. Just wide. Beautiful play inside the triangle. Yolden. Starting the wide skate. Dropping things back for Gillespie. She wants another opportunity. Gillespie tries to pass it back, but it's stepped up. And Lee will draw that penalty. Great play from her. She saw where the ring was going, took over that space, stepped right into it, and then had a penalty drawn on her. So Yolden will go to the box there. 2 minutes for hooking. WAM will get another opportunity to, on the power play. They want to continue pushing on this lead. 1-0 is scary. That's 10 seconds worth of work. So with 11 minutes and 51 seconds remaining, they want to continue pushing this small lead. Shannon now. Moving things down to Krochak. Cycling things over to Bell. Bell looking, seeing some sticks, but Krochak had slotted herself into the corner there. I should say the center of the triangle. Great little move there. RATH will have covered that ring. So to go back to WAM, 1 minute and 39 seconds remaining on the power play. Fresh 30 seconds on the shot clock. WAM putting out the dynamic duo of Ketsa and Dreger. Dreger with the low pick. Ketsa dropping it off to her, not quite finding it. Henderson keeps the battle going. There's going to draw a penalty. They're going to want to give it to RATH right now. Give the ring to RATH. Those fans are also yelling. Henderson just trying to slowly put that into the crease. And for those of you that might not know all of the dirty details of Ringette, there was already a penalty up on the board against Yolden. And if there's two people in the box, guess what time it is? It's Emily's favorite time. 3-on-2, so normally you want to give the ring to the other team as fast as possible so you can get as long as possible for that 3-on-2 opportunity. And they'll have 1 minute and 12 seconds on this one as WAM sets up that triangle. This is their first opportunity for a 3-on-2 here. We'll see how the RATH defense deal with this. Murray and Ung. Blocked by Murray. Rachel Ung now with it. Those two have played together for many, many years. How do I know that? I also played with them for many, many years. These two are classic 3-on-2. And Henderson gets a shot off and Nystrom gets a piece of it. Again, hard fighting there from Ung, passing it to Murray. Murray just trying to get it out into open space. 32 seconds on that 3-on-2 remain. Henderson now up top, shoots. Puts it into Nystrom's crest. Not too troublesome for her. WAM trying to move the ring back into the zone as fast as possible to, again, capitalize on that 3-on-2. 9 seconds on the penalty. Bell at top, moves it back to Dreger. Dreger back up to Bell. And a shot goes in from Ketsa. She's on the post. Dreger to Bell to Ketsa, and it's in. Not a very strong shot, but enough just sliding under the pads of Nystrom gets it past her. And that'll put WAM up on 2 goals here. The penalty had yet to expire, so they still have... Oh, are they canceling it? The penalty had just expired, it looks like, actually. Yep, that's canceled. So back to 5-on-5 here. WAM adding another goal to their short lead here. Lots of time to still go. RATH have yet to get there first. But Exner here is one of their top scorers as she passes back to Anderson, who's also a big contributor for this team, up for Rookie of the Year at the awards at the end of this national championship as Hemstreet gets a piece. She'll try and skate for her own rebound. And RATH will keep it for a moment as WAM gets it back. Floating ring into center, picked up by Hazel. Hazel spinning, looking, 2 on. Shoveling it into the corner for Anderson. 20 seconds on the shot clock. If she drops it back, get a bit of a shift change here. Starting to move things. Hemstreet back to Yolden. Yolden. Around the net, 8 seconds on the shot clock. She'll want something here. Turning, cutting through the center in the D. Fires it up top, bar down. Yolden strikes first for RATH. Brings it within 1. A beautiful play. Time winding down on the shot clock with the confidence to just step past the center in the D and just fires it backhand. Bar down. Hard to save that kind of shot. So RATH now within 1. Again, so many minutes remain. That's the beauty of this sport. There's so much that can happen. It's so fast. And Drager's trying to look to respond here. She puts her stick between her legs and uses that as a way to defend off that check. Works. 12 seconds on the shot clock as it goes back to Ketsa. Ketsa fresh off a goal here. Back down low for Krochak. Krochak gets one off. Bit too tight there, and the ring given back to Nystrom. Nystrom drops it low. Armstrong facing some trouble here, but managing to keep it with her. Finding pressure. Not a lot of opportunity to move, but keeps her feet going. Gets it to Ung. Ung tries to pass it off. It's going to hit off a stick so she can touch it on the other side. That's not a call. Fans don't seem to agree, but it was not a call. Drager firing it out to open ice, picked up by Bell. Bell down to Shannon. Shannon looking behind her shoulder to see who's there. She's got a tail. Fakes it, goes back to Bell. Bell tries to feed it into between this triangle there, but Wheeler thwarts that. RATH fighting hard. There's some energy now. You can feel a little bit more from both teams. Not that they weren't playing hard before, but if you tuned into the Riff Sud Mission game, I think that was probably one of the most intense ringette games I've seen that I didn't have a stake in. These two teams a little bit more controlled here. But the excitement's coming up here as Shannon walks in, tries to get a back shot. I should not. Shannon still maintaining possession here. She looks around for support. 17 seconds on the shot clock as she finds the drop pass to Drager. Playing the long game. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Moving it back over to Ketsa. That was a short break for her. Gets it on net. Drager tries to find herself moving right in. Picks it off. That long stick, man. That'll get you. You think you're out of harm's way, but it will find you. 6 seconds remain in this period as the ring moves itself over to Ung. Ung's still trying to get a possession on it. She'll move it to Exner. Exner gets it into center with Anderson. Anderson using support. Murray now moving it down to Brewster. Brewster at the long pass to Anderson with 10 seconds on the shot clock, looking for something here. Brewster now gets the shot. DeBlasi tried to tap it in for her own team control, but the ring was already in the crease, so possession will go back to RATH. 5 minutes and 37 seconds remain. RATH down by 1. Lots of time left. Yolden Making it look like maybe she was going to think about the shot, but pulling it over to Brewster instead on the boards. Keeping things a little bit safer here as they start the cycle. Back to Yulden, dropping. She got the last one. Now she's over to Brewster. Brewster cuts, tries to get one off. Finds the top of Ryu's stick. So that'll be the reset. Both maintain the possession here as that rings picks off by Asuka. Over to Bell. Bell now in the neutral zone. Finding that long open pass that Mitsuka can just skate right into. Bell to Bell. 10 seconds on the shot clock here. Battle along the boards caused the reset. Bit of a possession change here, but WAM will take control, starting the cycle back behind the net, finding pressure. There's a lot of movement there from Exner at center, really stretching the center roll out to the boards. Again, there's a lot of different strategies you can play with the triangle. Exner deciding now's the time to be aggressive. And now here she is with the ring. Tries to move it up, but it's whacked off by Dwaji. Picked off by Dreger from Gillespie. Gillespie now, she gets possession. 4 minutes remaining in this game. We think in shot clocks in ringettes, so that's 8 shot clocks. Lots of shot clocks left. As this one winds down, 10 seconds on it. Rath now, Exner cutting across traffic. Gets taken down. Armstrong, though, passes it over the blue line, but doesn't get the ring over to the net in time for that reset. And so Goaltender will get the ring. Ketsa looking for an outlet. Banks it off the boards. A flipping pass. Right over to Bell, and that was brilliant because it was flat. Could just sail right into her stick. WAM moving it easily across, trying to create space. Gets the shot with Nystrom. Nystrom finds an easy outlet with Meyer. Meyer not finding it very easy to move things over the blue line here. WAM now taking full possession, but there's nobody to pass to. Everyone caught up in the neutral zone, kind of on the same side. So she'll have to put it out into free ice where now Wheeler has it. Picked off by Bell, though. Bell moving things along to Ruth Henderson now. Henderson back to Bell. Over to Henderson up top. Facing some pressure there from Armstrong. Bell. And a shot from the side from Bell. Sauvé up top, lost her stick. Opened that triangle up completely. Down low. Had a look. WAM still maintaining possession here as Dreger gets picked off by Ung, fighting still for it. That bouncing ring over the blue line, quite pesky to try and make sure you don't touch it on both sides. And Henderson gets that ring forced off back into their own possession here with WAM now. Back in the offensive zone, Henderson moving things at center. Time is winding down now, and you can see the strategy for WAM has completely changed to, we must control this ring. We will not lose this ring. We don't want to let RATH have it at this point because we have the lead. Ung now trying to make her way into the play. She got hit, I think, just in the head there. She's looking for a call, but WAM will maintain it again. They're trying to just keep possession away from RATH at this point. Shannon could have had an opportunity at a wide open net, but decides to pass it to Dreger instead in the effort to control. And play will get whistled down over to Nystrom. Nystrom with the toss. RATH looking to move things up here and make it happen. Gillespie does a draw pass, but Dreger throws herself to the ice, and maybe she fell, but she gets in the way. Doesn't let it get through very clearly. Gillespie now on the boards with under a minute remaining. Again, this is semifinals. They need to tie things up here. We will go to overtime if it happens, but it needs to happen. Exner, she's fighting at the top. 5 seconds on the shot clock. A great stick there from Masuka to keep things out of the way. And an open net tries to allow Bell to get a shot. She's picked off more energy here from RATH as they take things into the zone with 20 seconds remaining. Anderson, back pass over to Gillespie. Gillespie, she's outside over to Exner. Exner had a shot, but she's met by Debaji. That was probably the play of the period. Steps into it. Gillespie, she had the moment. Over to Exner, now fighting on the corner as time winds down. And WAM take the win. Your semi-finalist winners, Edmonton WAM, will be moving on to the gold final. They will be going to the gold final for the 4th year in a row. RATH just coming up short here. Not a very high scoring game, but they will still have the chance to compete for a medal at bronze tomorrow against Rivsud Revolution. A low-scoring game, lots of great energy, fans in the stands, Battle of Alberta. Really a memorable game for both sides. But WAM continuing their undefeated streak as they go into the finals up against Mission. They've taken them on before. The first game of this CRC's was against Mission. They won 7-4. Mission, the underdog, coming in. If you use that math, it'll be an excellent game to watch. And I will also be there. So selfishly, you should all tune in, as I'm sure all of our Edmonton area folks will. But if you love Ringette, it'll be great action as well. Tune into the bronze. We'll have that as well. Again, thank you to our sponsors for being able to put this on. Thank you to ISI Live for having the broadcast. The teams will line up for the most valuable player of the game for both sides. It's been fantastic bringing you the action today. Again, my name is Emily Renneberg. We'll see who gets it for both sides. The CEO of Ringette Canada out here to present. And Maddie Nystrom will take it for Calgary RATH. She had a fantastic game, kept things low scoring, kept her team in it all the way to the end. Really strong there. And usually this game pretty high scoring, but both sides strong on that defensive end. And Missy Mitsuka will get MVP for this one for Edmonton WAM. She had a great game as well. She's also up for Defense of the Year, which again, we'll see the results of all of the NRL awards at the end of CRC's. Drag her up for MVP, drag her up for center, and the WAM staff up for Personnel of the Year. Wonderful. And for our friends with the RATH, Anderson for Rookie of the Year, Exner for Center of the Year, Rachel Ung for Defense of the Year, and Brebeck for Goaltender of the Year. So both these teams, talent all around. A lot of great action for us across this tournament. It's not over yet. Both will be going for medals. Edmonton for gold and Calgary for bronze. And that's all we have for you. Thank you again for joining us. Signing off is Emily Renneberg. Take care.